Good morning, students. Today I will be doing this probability of error for binary FSK system. So last class we had discussed about the signal space diagram of BEFSK as well as the transmitter, how it generates the binary FSK signal, how it receives the recovers the binary FSK signal using coherent detection. Now today I will discuss about the error probability of BFSK. So if you look into this diagram, so you'll be getting two elements of the observation vector x1 and x2. So, and y is equal to x1 minus difference x2, x1 minus x2. So, let me take what is this x1. So, x1 is the element generated in the observation vector because of the received signal x of t. And since we are taking x1 as the output of the correlator, the upper part, so the orthogonal function fed to this is locally used orthogonal function is phi1 of t. So I'm expressing x1 of t in terms of x of t and phi1 of t. So this is how we get it. This we have already done in module 2, the same thing. You can just look back. So x1 is equal to integral 0 to tb x of t phi1 of t. And similarly x2 represents the output of the lower correlator, which depends on x of t, and the orthogonal function used here in this lower path is phi2 of t. So x2 is equal to 0 to tb x of t phi2 of t dt, where x of t is the received signal, which is nothing but the sum of the transmitted signal plus the noise. So if we take up in that way, x1 is equal to x1 is that is the received signal x of t can have two values. One is x of t is equal to s1 of t plus w of t when symbol 1 is transmitted, and x of t equals s2 of t plus w of t when symbol 0 is transmitted, where w of t is the sample function of the white Gaussian noise process capital W having 0 mean and PST of n0 by 2. Now with reference to the signal space diagram, I just go back to the signal space diagram. So if the received signal point represented by the observation vector x falls inside the region Z1. So we have region Z1 here, okay, and region Z2 here. So if the observation vector falls in the region Z1, then the decision is taken in favor of symbol 1. If the observation vector falls in the region Z2, then decision will be taken in favor of symbol 0. So this occurs when x1 is less than the x2. So on the decision boundary line, that means if the received signal generates observation vector x which lies exactly on the decision boundary line where x1 is equal to x2, then the decision can be taken either in favor of symbol 1 or it can be in favor of symbol 0. So this may create error, but the contribution of the error created by making such decision, because we need to make a guess when x1 is equal to x2 either in favor of symbol 1 or symbol 0. So we may create an error, but the contribution of this error into the overall probability of error is very, very negligible. So it's not going to affect the probability of error. So let us consider a new Gaussian. Let us go back to the probability of error. So let us consider a new Gaussian random variable y whose sample value small y equals x1 minus x2. So mean value of the random variable y depends on which binary symbol was transmitted. So the mean value of the output y depends on the type of symbol being transmitted. So let us find out what it is. Now let us assume that the symbol 1 was transmitted. The correlator outputs x1 and x2 have mean values equal to root of EB and 0. Okay. That is, here we are assuming that symbol 1 was transmitted. So hence the conditional mean of the random variable capital Y given that symbol 1 was transmitted is, so we take this expected value. So expected value is nothing but mean value of the output y when symbol 1 was transmitted equals expected value of x1 when symbol 1 was transmitted minus expected value of x2 when symbol 1 was transmitted. So here we know that these two are independent. X1 and x2 are independent. Okay. So when x1 is there, x2 will not be there. So it gives rise to plus root EB. Okay. So under this condition, we know that the correlator output x2 equals 0 because in FSK only one will be transmitted at a time, either S1 of t or S2 of t. But white noise W of t, what is the mean of the noise component W of t? It is 0. So with that you get expected value of the output y when symbol 1 was transmitted as plus root EB. I will share the notes in your WhatsApp group once I finish this. Okay. Next is, this is when symbol 1 was transmitted. Similarly, let us consider symbol 0 was transmitted. In that case, the expected value of y when the symbol 0 was transmitted equals expected value of x1 symbol 0 was transmitted minus expected value of x2 when symbol 0 was transmitted. Now here when x2, in this case x2 is transmitted because we are x2 we are going to get because the symbol transmitted is 0 and x1 is going to be 0. Hence we get this expected value of x2 when 0 was transmitted as minus root EB. So that is about I told you earlier that the mean of the random variable y depends upon which symbol was transmitted. Okay. Now let us look into what is the variance of this random variable. Now variance of the random variable y is independent of which binary symbol was sent. So how it is, we will see. So since the random variable x1 and x2 are statistically independent, each has a variance of n0 by 2. So we are using here n0 by 2. So variance of x1 is n0 by 2 and variance of x2 is n0 by 2. So the variance of y will be equal to n0. Now let us take the conditional PDF of the random variable y. Assuming that symbol 1, 0 was transmitted. So this formula I have taken it from module 2 where we had studied about the conditional PDF. So the same expression I have taken here, and let me consider since the condition x1 is greater than x2 or equivalently y is greater than 0 corresponds to a receiver making decision in favor of symbol 1. So with that, what happens here is P10, that is symbol 0 was sent but decision is taken in favor of symbol 1. So we are trying to find out what is the probability of error. So the probability of error y greater than 0 when symbol 0 was transmitted is, you take this conditional PDF here, integrate between the limit 0 to infinity. So when you do that and simplify it by making the substitution of z is equal to so and so, you get P10 is equal to Q root of EB by N0. Okay, that is symbol 0 was sent but error is created because decision is taken in favor of symbol 1. Now the same thing if I do it with P01, that is symbol transmitted is 1 but decision is taken in favor of symbol 0, I get the same value. Okay. So hence the average probability of error is, I need to take the average of the two. So when I take the average of the two, I will get the average probability as P is equal to Q into root of EB by N0. Again, to find the probability of error, suppose if you have a problem on this probability of error, then you have to refer to the error function table. Now given in Hakins or even Ganesha, it will be given, you can just refer that so that you can calculate what is the probability of error. So this is the bit rate. This equation is the bit error rate for BFSK using coherent detection. Now, as far as the power spectra is concerned, actually in your syllabus, you don't have the analysis of power spectra, but you can take the power spectra of different shift keying techniques and you can compare, okay, in the form of the graph given in the textbooks. So that is about the probability of error in case of FSK. So you please summarize what are the probability of error in BPSK, QPSK and FSK and so on. So here if you observe, probability of error for FSK is, BFSK is Q into root of 2 EB by N naught. Whereas if you go to PSK, the probability of error, I think if I am correct, Q into root of 2 EB by N naught. Okay. So you have to remember these formulas in order to solve the problems. Now this is about the probability of error for BFSK. Now let us go to the probability of error of QPSK. It is very easy to find the error probability of QPSK because what is QPSK? It is nothing but 2 BPSK running in parallel. So we have already found out what is the probability of error for a BPSK. So you can apply that same thing to both the channels, in phase channel and quadrature channel. So with that you can find what is the probability of error for a QPSK. Now let me go to the error probability of QPSK. QPSK error probability. Okay, error probability of QPSK. So in a QPSK operating on an AWGN channel, the received signal X of t is defined by Si of t plus W of t. As you can see from this diagram, X of t equals Si of t plus, so S of t plus W of t. So I have taken Si of t because I will be having 4 different phases. So I varies from 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I write X of t as, okay, there was some problem with the internet. I'm very sorry. So let me go to the probability of error of a QPSK system. So now here x1 of t is equal to x of t into phi1 of t. So what is x of t here? S1 of t plus W of t. So that is given by a plus or minus root by 2 plus W1. Okay. Now similarly x2 is equal to integral 0 to t x of t phi 2 of t dt. I substitute for phi 2 of t. So since I is equal to 2 here, I take s2 of t plus w of t, that is nothing but w2. So I get minus or plus root of e by 2 plus w2. So here how I get this value is substitute for give values for I varying from 1 to 4. So you will get this. Similarly here also. Okay. So the observable elements x1 and x2 are sample values of independent Gaussian random variable with mean values equal to x1 is plus of minus root of e by 2 and minus or x2 as minus or plus root of e by 2 respectively, with common variance equal to n naught by 2. The decision rule is to say that S1 of t was transmitted if the received signal point associated with the observation vector x falls inside the region Z1. So in QPSK, we have divided the signal space diagram into 4 regions, Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4. So let us assume that S1 of t was the signal transmitted. So the received signal has resulted in an observation vector x that falls inside the region Z1. And similarly, let us assume that signal S2 of t was transmitted and the received signal point falls inside the region Z2 and so on for the remaining regions Z2 and Z3 and Z4. So the error detection will be made if the, say for example, signal S4 was transmitted, but the noise W of t is such that the received signal point lies outside the region Z4. So average probability of symbol error calculation. So in binary PSK system, we have already calculated that, and we know that the QPSK receiver is equivalent to 2 binary PSK receivers working in parallel and using 2 carriers that are in phase quadrature. So the in phase channel, if you look into the receiver diagram of QPSK, so the in phase channel X1 in phase channel output is X1 and the quadrature channel output X2 may be viewed as the individual outputs of 2 binary PSK receivers. So these 2 binary PSK receivers are characterized with signal energy per bit equal to root of E by 2 and noise spectral density as N0 by 2. So let us rewrite that probability of error of a BPSK signal, which is nothing but in the in phase and quadrature path of the coherent QPSK receiver as P dash is equal to Q into root of E by N0, where E is nothing but 2 into EB. But errors in the in phase and quadrature paths of the QPSK receiver, they are statistically independent. The decision device in the in phase path accounts for one of the 2 bits constituting a symbol, that is the bit of the QPSK signal, and the decision device in the quadrature path takes care of the other bit. The average probability of a correct detection resulting from a combined action of the 2 channels working together is PC is equal to, this is correct probability, 1 minus P dash the whole square. To substitute for P dash, which is the probability of error of a binary PSK signal, and if you expand that, you will get this equation, that is 1 minus Q2 Q into root of E by N0 plus Q square into root of E by N0, where E is equal to EB. Now here the average probability of symbol error for QPSK is P is equal to 1 minus PC. Now if I substitute for PC here, I get these 2 terms. But I am ignoring this Q square of root of E by N0 because E by N0 is very much greater than 1. So I can ignore the second term. So my probability of error will be approximately 2Q of root of E by N0, where E is equal to 2 into EB. So QPSK system achieves the same average probability of bit error as a BPSK system for the same bit rate and the same E by N0, but uses only 1/2 the channel bandwidth. So that is the specialty or the advantage of a QPSK system. So I will close with this because I have already done both the error probability of BFSK and error probability of QPSK. And in the previous session, I had already covered the error probability of BPSK. Now in the next class, we'll proceed with non-coherent detection, that is modulation technique using non-coherent detection. So far, whatever the detection shift keying techniques I have told you, all are using coherent detection because we are using a locally generated orthonormal basis function. So let us see what is the difference between the coherent, that is different shift keying techniques using coherent detection and shift keying techniques using non-coherent detection. Okay, so I'll just stop here, and the material whatever I have, I will send it to you in a day or two. To your, I will share it in your WhatsApp group. Okay, so thank you. I just unmute you. Tejo. Tejo.
Yeah.